Hello, YouTube. It's me, X and Wacky again. And as you may have read or saw in the title part of the video, which I've just added to our rant, yes, this video is going to be about little kids playing today's modern video games. And I will include some great examples and not so great examples of such. But hopefully you find the video enjoyable. First, let me go check on something. Alright, I'm back. First things first, when it comes to little kids, most of them, nowadays, are now surrounded by the big video games, which are probably the more noted parts of society, where little kids just want all the video games they can get their hands on, and most of the time they're just violent video games like Modern Warfare or Halo.
Wow.
Sorry. Most kids will inevitably allow themselves to become part of these video games, and sometimes parents will actually put kids in front of computers so they don't have to watch them. A good example of this is when I used to play Old Toontown, I ran into a kid. Actually, no, that's not a good example. When you encounter I'll use a better example. When you encounter kids on video games today, you encounter kids, like little 5-year-olds, who seem like they own the place. And then, when they end up getting told, you don't own the place, you need to stop acting like such a brat, and whatnot, they end up crying like their eyes out, and their moms get mad. Sadly, that's where a lot of people don't like little kids being on video games. In fact, that's why most video games nowadays, including World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, and I believe Elder Scrolls, have become dumbed down to meet the needs of casuals. An example is that Blizzard receives so many letters and forum messages from kids who are probably under the age of 8, complaining that the game World of Warcraft was just too hard and they wanted it easy so it would meet their standards. Unfortunately, this enabled Blizzard to go with their word, and now the game seems like it practically plays itself almost, except in the newer content areas like Pandaria or where Cataclysm was. If we really want to think about it, the little kids that are on these games create the problems for us rather than allow themselves to play the game and enjoy the difficulty. They want things to be catered to their whim. Unfortunately, that's not the way video games were made. They were intended to provide difficulty and be fun in the process. Now, don't get me wrong, I find games like Skyrim enjoyable, but I liked it a lot better when it was when Elder Scrolls, we'll use Oblivion as an example, where the questline made you feel more engaged. In Skyrim, you don't feel as engaged. In fact, from what I've seen, the questline is much shorter, and there were just too many surprises, unlike Oblivion, and Oblivion kept it nice and forward. Little kids, most kids find it cool to put themselves in this society, and they don't want to be watched by their parents because they know once their back is turned, they'll be able to, start swearing and become corrupt and whatnot, and become corrupt to the society that is in modern video games, whether it be good, bad, or anything else that you can think of. Really though, most kids, for example, I'll use an example of the Sandy Hook shooting. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but this is something I thought would make a good example. People think that people over time will become corrupted by video games. You only truly, in my opinion, only become corrupt by video games if you allow them to. If someone were to become corrupted by video games, then practically, then there'd probably be more mass shootings than you would think. But that's just my theory behind it. The little kids that we see today apparently feel that they are now the center of the universe. They must now be catered to the whim. They must now be treated upon like they are the true people of society. And there's more examples of this besides just video games. I mean, there's larger generation gaps now. When I was 9, I didn't play video games. I mean, I played The Sims, but that was really it. I played freaking with my Legos and my dry erase board, my dry erase markers, and I colored. Now we have 9-year-olds using iPods, iPhones, iPads, and iMacs and whatnot, and those little kids want them parents to cater to their whim, and most do, which is a mistake on their part because they're being spoiled, which is a problem with a lot of kids I've noticed nowadays. Many of them become spoiled, and they take this out, the spoiling, like, they don't have to do the work, they shouldn't have to, people should do it for them, and they take it to other parts of society. You will find this mostly in video games, such as examples, or when it comes to things like government or work or whatnot. I won't discuss those in this video. I'll just discuss little kids. Another example, you would find World of Warcraft, for example. We would think that we wouldn't have to see little kids. Unfortunately, though, I've run into kids who are maybe under the age of 10, and they feel like they're the almighty. They feel like, just because they're this class or this rank or this level, that they are the all-stars. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. It used to be, when you were max level, of course, but not anymore. In fact, now it's more like, stop bragging, play the game, and enjoy it, rather than having us spoil things for you and you not do anything. The point of the game is to have fun, not for everyone to look at you and say, we must bow to this one. One thing I see most kids nowadays with is it seems that their parents will occasionally, just allow their kid to do whatever they want. And yet there's people out there willing to get them out of the problem. If I were to, this has happened to me before, I don't know about any of you. I've been in video games before with my friends where the kid ended up swearing or yelling like a madhouse. And we asked him, and someone I knew and then when I said, you shouldn't be swearing, you shouldn't be playing this game, it's rated M, and, you really should go play other games that aren't so bad. Of course, this was probably my bad feeling of it when the kids put their mom on the mic and told me, they're mature enough to play this, I've let them play it, they're okay to play it, they shouldn't have to, be dealing with you kind of people, why are you kind of people playing video games, you guys should just get out of here. When really, I'm the one helping them, and the kids that are being corrupted are being, told off by the ones who swear, or use sex jokes, or anything along those lines a lot. So, in reality, the parents are letting the bad guys win by trashing the good guys who are just trying to do a good job in keeping the community clean, which may never be achieved, but we can get close. The problem, and there's another example, and when it comes to little kids and trolling, they will, they'll act, like I said before, they'll act all high and mighty, they'll even act like, they've got the brains, they kill you once in a video game, oh, I'm the best, but you kill them 3 more times, they call you a hacker, your parents tell you to stop hacking, and you have to let them win. See what I mean? Spoiling. And these little kids just want everything to themselves. That's why most video games I've said have been dumbed down. In my theory, you really should not. If a guy or employee were to ever see a little kid and a mom, and the mom's holding a copy of Saints Row the Third, for example, the guy or employee should be concerned, hey, if you're buying it for him, you really shouldn't be. I mean, that game's rated M. It's got some pretty graphic stuff in there. I don't think your kid's ready for that. But the parents usually will insist, oh no, my son's totally mature. He's pretty good with games. He's never going to become corrupt. But some people allow themselves to become corrupt. I've said that before. Sometimes they will become corrupt. And what happens? Things like the Sandy Hook shooting happened. Of course, there's no doubt. Of course, people thought maybe it could have been the root. It may not have been. Most of these mass shootings have been caused by people with psychological problems. Remember that shooting in Aurora? That guy didn't play video games. Some people blamed it on that, and turned out he had psychological problems. And both incidents have spiked gun control problems. Of course, I'm not going to talk about that. Some little kids, when they grow up with these games, they feel like it's the right thing to do to go out there swear, and when they go out in real life to go get a job, they won't have one long. In fact, the people that they swore put down are going to be the ones that make something of themselves in life, and are going to be laughing at the kids who thought it was cool to do the bad things in life when they really should have been doing the good things. Because remember, good gets you farther than bad, regardless. Sadly though, kids nowadays just want things, like I've said, little kids never deserve, little kids, look at the rating. Parents, look at the dang rating. If it is an M, they should not be playing it. If it is a D, probably they should be playing it. I don't know. But if you really are sensitive, do not let them play it. E10, or at least E. Make sure the game is appropriate, and these games will not be a problem, and maybe we'll have these mass shootings and whatnot reduced. And if these shootings are reduced because of that, then maybe society could become better. But apparently society blamed a lot on video games. Violent culture. That's another thing. Society. A lot of society tends to blame other people for its own problems. Video games, like I've said. Society will blame video games for anything. Mass shootings, bank robberies, cars running over people. Oh my god, that's supposed to be caused by a video game. I can't believe people are so bad. Well, suck it up. Life sucks. It's not, but that doesn't mean everything has to be what you say. But seriously though, in reality, just don't let little kids play video games. Society could be better off that way, and we could have less rude or mean or annoying people in this world. And that concludes the rant, guys. I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day. And as always, subscribe, like the video, and comment with your own opinions, or anything else that you might want to say, of course. That's all for now. Have a good day, guys. This has been X and Wacky, signing off.